Hello and welcome. I am Zerbraxi. In the Burning Crusade, it would seem that Blizzard decided to move away from class quests for some reason. I'm not quite sure, it's a bit of a shame. However, if you happen to be one of those shape-shifting nature lovers of Azeroth, well, in Outland, you get to have a pretty cool experience. I present to you my guide on how to unlock Swift Flightform. Let's go! First things first, as a druid, you're able to grab the flight form ability at level 68. Yes, you are a special little Moonkin, and 2 levels before max, you can completely purchase the flight form ability from your Druid Trainer, and this spell also comes with the normal flying skill for no additional cost. Congratulations on your almost 1,000 gold savings. Once you have flying and are level 70 though, you can now begin this process. Once you meet the prerequisites, then any Druid Trainer should be able to provide you the quest Morthis Whisperwing. However, if your trainer is being stubborn and doesn't want to give it to you, then Loganar in Moonglade will be more than happy to get you started on this journey. Make your way out to Cenarion Refuge in order to find the Order of the Talon Druid that is being requested of you. You'll be able to accept the quest The Ward of Wakening, in which Whisperwing agrees to teach you the special technique as long as you do all that he asks. You'll be tasked with gathering 3 different herbs. The first will be 10 bog blossoms, which can be gathered by anyone and are located atop the mushrooms of Zangarmarsh. So if you're looking for a cool excuse to go up there, here it is. The following 2 herbs would be 10 Dreaming Glory and 10 Ancient Lichen. These components can be gathered by herbalists, so if you happen to not be a flower picker, then you're going to have to go ahead up the auction house to grab these and then head back to Whisperwing. Hand over these materials to the Druid of the Talon and he will concoct the Wakening Potion. You'll be asked to bring the potion to Clintar Dreamwalker in the Storm Rage Barrodens back in Moonglade. Cast that handy-dandy teleport like a wannabe mage and back to the Druid Haven you go. In the southeastern corner of Moonglade sits an organization of druids who are watching over the safety of those who have passed in the Emerald Dream. One of those is asleep, and his name is Clintar. Despite being awoken early, Clintar Dreamwalker is both shocked and grateful for the interruption. You'll be informed that there's a surplus of nightmarish activity happening, and you'll have to escort his spirit across in order to gain several relics, making sure that you defend his very essence from being consumed by these monstrosities. After the final relic is accessed, you'll lead to Dreamwarden Larusa near the entrance of the Barrow, where you'll be rushed to deliver the ancient artifacts over to Morthis Whisperwing back in Cenarion Refuge in Zangarmarsh. If by this point you were expecting to have made some progress on your journey, well, you clearly haven't been playing WoW much because this is quite a long way. Morthis will now inform you that he knows someone studying the exact problem that you've run into. Wow, isn't that convenient? Start heading far north from the Cenarion Refuge into the Blade's Edge Mountains, where you'll want to dive down into the Evergrove. This haven is home to Arthorn Windsong, our convenient plot mover longer. Arthorn indicates that a tome titled The Book of the Raven references an Arakoa amidst the Vortex Pinnacle to the far west. However, you'll need to disguise yourself as a bird. Accept the quest and head far west, high atop the plateau, home to Orgula, the daily quest hub. Around the area, kill some Aether Rays for their eyes, which is what you're going to need. And once you've acquired an eye, you can make your way to the south end of Orgula and use the Seer Stone combined with the Aether Ray Eye, and you'll be able to see shadowy Arakoa that were mentioned earlier. Among the populace is an elder named Saikal. Speak with him and pose as his son to retrieve the information that you need and then return back to Arthorn in the Evergrove. It's discovered that normalize will not be enough to locate the missing elements of this book. However, Watcher Elira atop the Twilight Ridge in Nagrand might be able to help, so we'll have to make our way there. Atop this lonely ridge of Nagrand sits Elira, who's been studying the birds around the area. She'll task you with capturing a windrock nearby, but warns you that these birds are incredibly skittish and will flee upon the faintest of dangers. You're going to have to sneak up on one of these creatures and then use the net that Elira provided in order to fully capture it. You can use your cat form's prowl to get close, and then cyclone the heck out of the bird so it can't flee while you throw the net on it. That's good druid form here. Return the net and the bird to Elira, where she informs you that the missing stones you seek can be located in Skedis, and she provides you a whistle that your Sparrowhawk will now respond to. Make your way to Skedis in the southeastern area of Terrakar Forest, use the whistle, and follow the Sparrowhawk to the buried fragments and collect them. Be careful of the many wandering mobs in this area. It will take a couple of uses of the whistle to locate everything, but once you have the stones, you then must head all the way back to Evergrove once again in order to meet with Arthorn, who will hopefully be able to reconstruct the scriptures. The next set of tasks will start to really expose why I like class quests in video games and MMOs specifically. The following quests will really help ensure that you understand the full versatility of the druid. You get to really test out all the different tools of the toolkit and see just how broad this class is. It would seem that there are now 3 spirits that need to be bested, as if this is a set of trials of sorts. The first is the Eagle, located near Lake Jorun, just to the west of Spinebreaker Hold in Terrakar. You'll know you're in the right spot when you locate the giant bird statue. When you interact with the shrine, you'll find your first spirit that you must overcome. This is a test of the bear. Enter bear form and conquer this spirit. When all the ads are spawned, you can also use Demoralizing Roar to drastically decrease the damage that they provide to you. Give them all a couple swipes and then loot the essence you need. You can now use the whistle that is still in your bags to call forth the Sparrowhawk yet again. This time, the bird serves a little bit of a different purpose, as it's now the quest giver and receiver for these trials. Turn it in and accept the next part of the test. Next up is to seek out the Falcon's essence from the shores of Lake Air Naru, just south of Illyrian Stronghold. Follow the same suit as before. This is meant to be a test of the cat, but the encounter is very easy, so just nuke the mob down and steal its essence. Blow the whistle once more to turn in the quest and start making your way very south. The final test is of the Hawk. On a floating island to the far south of Terrakar, beyond Auchindoun, lies a lone landmass with the final shrine tucked away. Beware of this guardian. This spirit will curse you and drastically increase the physical damage that you receive. You'll be forced to engage this as your caster form on this one and whittle the enemy down by rooting them and calling upon the stars and the moon for damage. Be sure to cleanse yourself throughout the encounter as well, and you will emerge victorious. One long trek back to Evergrove we go. Upon completion of this quest, Arthorn will hand over all the notes and ask you to bring them back to Morthis Whisperwing, as well as reward you with a trinket that increases your flight speed while in flight and swift flight forms. Neat. Upon your return to Cenarion Refuge, Morthis looks over Arthorn's notes, and we finally have a sight of whom our final adversary will be. Yeah, but we probably have to go travel some ridiculous distance in order to go talk to some random dude to give us another quest to go back, right? Actually, no. It's far worse. Morthis lets you know that the South Fury Moonstone that they need is in Ajara. Yes, the zone north of Orgrimmar, and you're tasked with retrieving the stone from a party who had lost it. Make your way to Ajara, and you might as well cook dinner while you're at it, and head to the South Fury River. You'll find that a goblin named Rizzle Sprocket has found the stone and refuses to turn it over before attempting to run away. Chase that goblin down, and eventually Sprocket will forfeit the item when she realizes she has nowhere else to go. Bring the item all the way back to Morthis and Cenarion Refuge once again, but now the end is in sight. Whisperwing gets the ritual going and creates the essence-infused Moonstone. This gem will allow you to summon the real culprit that's been mucking up the Emerald Dream, the Raven God Anzu. You'll need to gather a full party from here on out and make your way into the Arakoa Den known as Sethic Halls in Auchindoun. On your way through this dungeon near the final boss, you'll locate the Claw of Anzu. When you mount the stone upon the claw, the ritual to rip Anzu into this material plane will begin. Welcome to your final battle. There are a few things to keep in mind when dealing with Anzu. First, there are 3 NPCs in the area, all representing the trials that you conquered earlier. Casting a heal over time on them, like Rejuvenation, will activate them for a duration of the hot. Each NPC provides a unique party buff. The Hawk Spirit reduces the damage that all players receive by 500 from incoming attacks. Eagle deals 300 damage per second to all enemies in the room. Finally, Falcon grants 25% movement speed, 25% range haste, and 25% caster haste. Be sure to utilize these buffs as they make the fight much easier. As for Anzu himself, he has the following abilities to look out for. The first is Spell Bomb, an 8-second curse that reduces the mana of the target by 2,000 and will cause 1,000 damage to the target every time they cast a spell. Keep in mind though that if you have this debuff and you remove it with a curse removal, then you will not take the damage. Cyclone of Feathers will cast the Druid Cyclone ability onto a target for 6 seconds and can only be dispelled by a Priest's Mass Dispel. Paralyzing Screech is a 6-second group-wide AoE stun. This spell is uninterruptible but has a 5-second cast time to allow you to place heal over times and shield on your tank. Finally, at 66 and 33%, Anzu will banish himself for a period of time and spawn a bunch of ads. Deal with these ads since Anzu will be immune during this time, but he will be able to cast spells, so be careful. This is where having the Eagle NPC buff will be insanely useful. Eventually Anzu will fall, and he has his own unique loot table, which includes the famous Reigns of the Ravenlord mount, which shares Anzu's model. This is a very low drop chance, so good luck. Now that Anzu has been bested, you can return to Cenarion Refuge one final time to speak with Morthis. You'll be rewarded with a very powerful and very versatile relic, and most importantly, the Swift Flight Form ability, which now allows you to have access to the epic flying mount speed for almost no cost. Morthis worries that Anzu might attempt to mess with Outland and the Emerald Dream again in the future, so you're allowed to keep the Essence-infused Moonstone just in case. Essentially, you can now, on each heroic lockout, attempt to best Anzu repeatedly in order to obtain loot and another shot at that beautiful mount. Godspeed out there trying to get this. It's pretty rare. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you druids out there found this particularly useful, and for those of you maybe who don't play druid, maybe you found it entertaining. Maybe you got to see a quest you'll never do, so hopefully it was at least cool for you. If you did like the video, then please hit that thumbs up and subscribe for plenty more content coming. I almost said wow, but I said plenty instead. Also, don't forget to hit the dislike button if you thought it was crap. YouTube's still trying to possibly get rid of that button, so you only have so much time to let me know how much I suck. Please, also, please follow me on Twitch and Twitter. I got a little desperate. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter where I talk all things gaming, classic WoW. We have loads of discussion on stream. Half the time I'm getting distracted from the game talking to people. So if you want to have a cool talk, come on over. It's twitch.tv/Zerbraxi. I will see you all, though, in the next one. That's it for me. Bye-bye!